Let's get that monitor turned off. Shabbat Shalom. Solo, okay? It's coming. Bass solo. Hey. Shalom. Yes, here we go.
Let there be light. Let there be light despite.
Mm.
Hi, friends. I'm looking into a camera. I'm here in a circle in Shira's backyard in Brooklyn. There's a laptop right here in front of me. I can see you all on the screen. And I know it's crazy, and we're back where we were, but we're not. And still, somehow, we are together. So say this with me. Let there be light, despite. It is the last Friday night. Let there be light. It is the last Friday night of 2021, our last Shabbat of this last year together. There's one more to go on the calendar, but for us, it's our last Sabbath Queen. And we're here instead of being at the Mark Morris studio that so many of us wanted to be at with you all in person and online, but we're making it work. Let there be light despite. So thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for hosting us and welcoming us. Thank you all. You're going to meet this gorgeous circle of ritualists and musicians, technicians of the sacred, on stage, off stage, connecting us, as our ancestors have been doing for centuries with a serious tech twist. So there's an altar here in the middle of our circle, and it's got some votive candles on it, and soon it's going to have some real live candles we're going to light, and we're going to ask us all to put candles in the middle of our circle tonight. You're meeting us in the backyard. We're meeting you in your living room. There's a possum or something. We don't know what it is. We're in the wild. This is wild. So I know it's been rough, folks, and I know if you're in New York and New York City, these last few days have been terrifying. And wherever we are, we have so much to deal with, and yet right now, put down what you don't need to put attention on right now, if you can. Close a window, a door. Ground with us under the full moon as Shabbat begins. And yes, we're wearing masks. And yes, we're safe. And yes, we're here together. We're going to light candles in the middle of our circle. And you may have noticed that candles these days have a lot of fancy names, especially the scented ones. Eternal Serenity and others. $49.99. What? I'm going to invite you to think of what you need tonight. What is the name of the candle we need to light tonight? And I want to invite us to think of the name of the candle you want to invite into the night tonight. Let there be light despite. Let us light. And I'm going to invite you to put in the chat the name of the candle you are lighting tonight. Imagine them all filling our space here. Take a few minutes now. Just feel it. What do you need tonight? Whatever you need, that's the name of the candle. Don't get fancy, or do. And I'm going to ask our beautiful circle here tonight to share with us what is it that you are putting in the circle. Just a word or two. Naomi, I'm going to start with you. What is the name of your candle?
Open hands.
Open hand. Ooh, of course, you can imagine the scent. So open hands are in the middle of the circle tonight. And Ben, what's yours?
Trust, trust, trust.
Trust. Trust times 3.
Yeah.
Imagine that scent. And Rabbi Noam,
Resilience.
the candle of resilience. Shira,
I'm going to go with adventure. Adventure under the full moon.
yes, adventure under the full moon. That's a good name for a candle. Leo,
Patience and hope.
the patience and hope candle there, and I see them coming in. Yours as well. Mary, Say it. Forward with love candle, Brother D. The candle of warmth. Thank you for being practical. I'm going to put in the candle of journey. The candle of journey. Let there be light despite. Ben, are you seeing what's coming in on
I'm
the
seeing
chat?
joy, everlasting hope, compassion, healing, vibrant health, good health, love, peace, sage, safety, friendship, ease, healing, community, love, endurance, strength, rest, peace, Shabbat, hope, love, always, peaceful sleep, serenity. Angels come by here, this very backyard. Did you know? Did you know? Love for the healthy masculine.
Let there be light despite. The candle of gratitude is on bright. And I want to hand it over to my sister Shira to ground us in the gratitudes of this evening
Yeah.
before we continue
I
and
know.
bring in Shabbat.
Well, I cannot see what's happening on the screen right now. So, and I cannot even imagine what dream state this is a portal into. But I can say that inside there are 80 windows, each one a portal into a different point in this cosmic temple that is made of electricity and light. But here there are flowers, candles, music stands, cords, cables, an entire crew of production, love, and volunteers. So now Sam is over there. So Sam, I didn't get that little post-it that we dreamt that I would get. So I'm going to take a guess here. How many people volunteered? But they volunteered their love days ago. So I already have them. I'm thinking about Jenny, Hannah, Jessica, Rhonda, Susan, Ann, Keisha. Yeah. And we have Ashley online. Hi, Ashley. Anybody else? Well, basically, this house just wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. Thank you for even getting us to this day.
Many angels come by here.
Many angels come by here.
Yes, many angels come by here.
So, with all this gratitude, friends, there's an ancient ritual that we've been doing for so many years because Lab Shul literally is a pop up. We just popped up in your living room and in this backyard. And because we do so, every time we gather, we sanctify the threshold. And a Jewish threshold has on its doorpost the mezuzah, that object that has within it the sacred reminder to love and to safeguard our comings and our goings. And in some traditions, when you come in or you go out, you kiss the mezuzah. So we are reinstituting the mezuzah kiss. I want to invite you to take a breath, a moment, a grounder, and send a kiss to somebody else on a window next to you. You can send a chat kiss. You can blow a kiss. We're seeing you. We're blowing them to each other. We're kissing the threshold of time from this week with all its gifts and challenges into this Shabbat. The threshold of being and becoming. And you know what else is a threshold? The moon is full above our heads and the sun has set. And just before the sun went down to sleep, she kissed the trees good night and said Shabbat Shalom. And we know that because there was a poet in Israel many years ago by the name of Bialik who wrote a poem that became super famous. And in that poem, he says, the sun kissed the treetops and Shabbat, the queen, became. So welcome to Shabbat, my friends. We're going to earn the greeting of Shabbat Shalom together. Let there be light, despite. Get your candles ready, the ones you will hopefully light with us in just a bit.
say this, but I know your little button says mute, but you are not on mute. You are not on mute. Take a deep breath. This is such a beautiful piece of music. Just let it curl around your soul. Just let it kind of land like a little waterfall. Ready? Here we go. Big breath. So tonight, under this full moon, it's the 14th of Tevet tonight. It was an incredible month. We just had Kislev, the month where we lit lights for Hanukkah. But tonight, under this full moon, we know we're just a few days away from winter solstice, like the 21st. So it's maybe 3 or 4 days from now, the planets, this planetary occurrence will happen when the Earth's poles reach their maximum tilt away from the sun. And that's why winter solstice is the darkest night of the year. So soon the days are going to start to get longer. And I say, don't rush, don't rush. We just got the sun kissing the treetops, going down. And that means, on Shabbat, that means the Sabbath Queen. Boi, boi, we say. You can say that with me, boi, boi. You can use these are boi hands. They say, come in, queen, come in, Shabbat. You need the sun to go down for her to be here. She's an entourage kind of queen. She doesn't come in the sunlight. She comes when the sun goes down. So tonight is dedicated to solstice. And I want you to go ahead and find the light source in your room right now. Or better yet, go outside and get under the stars just like we are. But if you're at home, you can find the light source in your room. You can find, where can I turn off a lamp? Or maybe can I dim the lights? And we've got a moment. We're going to go through the whole Sabbath Queen, welcoming her in tonight. But keep in mind that we're just embracing the medicine and wisdom of this darkness tonight. We're not rushing. We're not rushing the darkness. So we're going to call it in. Call it in.
The sun has set beyond the trees. Let us go and greet the Sabbath Queen. Now she descends, sacred and blessed, with her angels bringing rest and peace. Welcome, welcome, Queen. Welcome, welcome, love. Welcome in peace, angels of peace.
Boi v'netzeh kat Shabbat HaMalka Ki nehi yoredet HaKadosha HaBrucha Ve'yama malachim tzva Shalom u'menucha Boi Malka Boi Kala Shalom Aleichem Aleichem HaShalom Shalom, boi, boi Malka, boi Kala, Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom, boi Malka, boi Kala, Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Shalom. Ya la 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 la. night tonight we're going to play with this dance that is darkness and sparks of light. And we have to light the Shabbat candles. This is another game of ritual play. And Shoshana Hecht is here with us online. Amichai, can you see Shoshana?
So Shoshana before.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yay, Shoshana!
Yay.
Your voice merges. The angels are here. She's perfect. So, Shoshana.
And Stefan's going to light them here.
Well, okay, great. Stefan, you're going to light them here? Sorry.
Stefan, this is your special Shabbat.
Okay, Stefan, we're going to bring you up in gold. Perfect. In a
Yes.
solstice outfit. I love it. Okay, now, everyone, here's what I want you to do. The candle lighting is a solstice ritual play. I didn't realize it until we had Shabbat solstice, but now I do. Because you know that part, well, we're going to say the Bowie. This is what we've been practicing. Bowie, come in, come in, come in. Bowie, bringing our light, the light close to us. And then we cover the light and then reveal the light, despite. So tonight, this light, I want you to go find your mask. I want you to go find a mask in your house, because tonight we're going to use our solstice masks, which, of course, these are magical pieces now. I mean, they keep us healthy and they magically connect us to the entire universe. We're going to cover our whole face with solstice darkness while the candles are lit. And so when the light is revealed, Shoshana, are you with me?
With you.
Okay, great. When the light is revealed, we'll do like a little 1, 2, 3, and then, woo! That's our first official ritual play. Okay, so go find a mask, everybody. Go find a mask. Optional. Of course, optional. Now, the ritual team here has gone dark. Everybody's dark.
Shoshana, you don't have to. It's okay.
Okay.
Cover your eyes.
Yeah, cover your
As the old tradition says.
As the old tradition says. Yeah. You ready?
Ready. Stefan, I can't see, so just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, 1, 2 lit. Adonai, go ahead. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ruach haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. 1, 2, 3.
Let there be light.
Wow. It materialized.
Malachei Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Shalom, Malachei Shalom,
Let there be light tonight. Remember that? The very beginning of the story? That's how we believe the world began, with let there be light. Well, our ancestors, it is told, were created on the first day of the new year, which is in the fall. Today we call it Rosh Hashanah, the new year. Many of us were together for Rosh Hashanah, in person and online, celebrating the birth of humanity, the sixth day of creation. Adam, not a dude, Adam, the earthlings, those of the earth, were created on the sixth day, and according to some tradition, within 48 hours, woke up to their humanity and to their fragility. They ate, they dressed, they left, and ended up on earth and not in Eden. And there they had to work to eat and plant seeds and watch them sprout. And as they watched the seeds sprout and the sweat of their brow accumulate, they noticed something else. That by the time they moved from fall into midwinter, the days were getting shorter and the nights were getting longer. And that warmth they loved so much was not so there so much. And that mystery of darkness that they loved so much because of dreams and visions, well, it became a little colder. And so they did what many of us would do when we're afraid of the dark. They groaned. And in the version of the story that I'm sharing with you that comes from the reservoirs of Jewish storytelling from a book known as the Talmud, a collection of oral stories that were later written down, written in Hebrew, but it's so much older. What they did at that moment as the nights were getting darker and fear took over their hearts, they groaned. In Yiddish, that word is krechts. I don't know if you get it through the mask. Krechts. Thank you, Noam. What?
That's in klezmer too.
In klezmer talk, krechts is a thing.
What does it sound like on the?
Yeah, what does it sound? What does a krecht sound like, Leo? That's a krechty sound, yes. Oh, that's got centuries of Eastern European angst. Well, friends, the word in Hebrew for the angst that Leo just played for us is, you know it. What's the Jewish groan? Oi! Oi! So, according to the story in the Talmud, Adam, who is the entire human species at the time, delivers the first oi, which we have done successfully ever since. So I don't know what your week has been like or this day. I am willing to bet that there's a reason each and every one of us right now can take a deep breath and on the exhale, let there be an oi, like that first oi. On the count of three, we brought the light. Let's bring the oi. I want to hear you on screen in our circle, like the first Adamic oi. 3, 2, 1.
Oi. Oi.
So seriously, this is a legend. It's in the Talmud, in the tractate called Avodah Zarah. It's about idolatry, and it's inspecting the holiday season of winter. The rabbis 2,000 years ago are saying, what's with all those winter holidays? And where do they come from? And this is where the story goes. That first oi. Now, Naomi will remember, as will Shira and Sarah and others, Oi to the World. That was one of our best shows. It was like our winter holiday burlesque. We're not going to go there tonight, but we're just, but we're going to go to that Oi. And tonight we're going to go deeper into this Talmudic legend about the longest night of the year, which, as Shira said, is upon us. But I want to just pause for a moment and ask what the story is about. Notice that our storytelling ancestors who told and wrote the story around campfires paused to make sure that we realize that at that moment when the Adams family, notice that it's getting darker, they say, oi! But you know what's happening next? They say, must be our fault. What have we done wrong? It's getting darker because of us. Chaos is taking over order. The nights are superseding light. Oh no, it's us. What have we done that the fruit, the snake, the arrogance. What do? I'm going to pause us here. We will get to what happens next a little bit later this evening. But I just want us to listen to what this ancient myth is telling us. Perhaps that at that moment, when humanity realized that it gets dark and it gets cold, they didn't quite know that that's how it was. They put themselves at the center and said, it's all about me. Dude, it's not about you. Thank you, humanity. Thank you, Homo sapiens. It's not about us. There's a bigger ecosystem. Step back. Have humility. It isn't about you. The earth is not orbiting around you, humanity. So there's something here for us to learn about humility in the face of all this and all that. But there's also something else here. Notice that they're noticing. They're not just moving from fall into winter. They're noticing the gradations of the day getting shorter and the night growing longer. And yes, they're awing and they're noticing. Let's notice when it gets colder and darker and longer and harder. And let's take the time to appreciate the dimming and the growing and the softening so that we can really be present to every single bit of being, as our ancestors taught us in this tale. What do they do next? We'll find out in a bit. But for now, they sit in the darkness and oi. Shh. There's plenty to be there with. Give yourself another quiet oi to yourself for all we have gone through this week, this year, this season. And let there be light inside this oi. Shh.
Slow that oi down like this. Take a little bit of a walk through the week. Today was such a big day, I barely remember yesterday. But I'm going to try. Take a little walk through the week. Let's find a few more places where Oi just became us. Because 'tis this season. It's Tevet after all, and we are invited to go deep and go dark. Go deep and go dark, as my teacher Dory Midnight says, when the deep calls the deep. That's the days before winter solstice. So go back through your week. Just relax into it and just say, Oi. Oi, oi, oi. Now, as you trickle past all the ois and the deeps, I'm sure you just won't be able to help but find a few tiny little specks of glitter, a little spark. Just gather them up, even if it's like you have to touch your tongue to and just pick it up like a little speck of, just take it with you. Hold it up high, say thank you. Thank you this past week. Because in order to really get here and be here with our queen, we got to say goodbye to this past week, and we really got to mean it. So just one more moment. Thank you this past week. Hopefully, all of those specks of light, all of those swirls of oi and dark and deep, when they spiral up, they bring truths. So keep listening and let those truths just come up and inform us. Are we ready?
Do you know which way the west is? Where does the sun set where you are right now? Liz, it's this way, right? So during Lecha Dodi, this hymn to the combination of the feminine, the masculine, the mind and the heart, the body and the soul, all coming together to be one, the darkness and the light. We bow to the west, which is this way. It's this way, over here. Wherever your west is, figure it out, because where the sun sets is where the mystery rises. And when Shabbat sets, having kissed the treetops, and the light blessedly dances with the dark, we bow to the west and we say, Boi Kala, come darkness, come queen, come bride, come love, come all of it, and nourish me and us. So I'm finding an invitation in my heart for us to get up, and I can't see if you are. I'm inviting you to actually get up. Feel your body, feel your knees, feel your treetops, feel your roots. Bow towards each other if you're with someone else, towards the screen, towards each other, and find the sunset. Find the west. And under this full moon, we welcome Shabbat into our bodies.
Shalom. No. Bui v'shalom, ateret ba'alam, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula.
This is the bowing moment. Boi kala, boi kala, malan chado. Y'all, is this working? By working, I mean, are you feeling it? Folks in the yard? Yes? Folks in the chat, is this working? Are you feeling? We can't tell. We got these damn masks on, and I don't know. Y'all feeling it?
You betcha.
Yes, we're feeling it.
Working that you're feeling
We
it?
love it. We're feeling it.
Okay, good.
Yes.
A thumbs up. We don't know. We're doing our best here. Okay, good.
We're so
What do you
grateful to
need
be-
from us? How can we tell? How can we be in the vibe with you? Do you need some more sound?
Vibing it. Thank you. We just need to know because when you're not here.
We feel you. We love you.
Awesome.
Who is
Thank
that?
you.
Who is that?
Yes.
We feel you.
Yeah.
Lots of activity in the chat. Good. Here we are. We left our ancestors on Earth under the winter moon saying, oh, it's getting colder. Now what? So here's what happens next in the story. In the Talmud, you can open it yourself, Avodah Zarah, page 8. They start complaining, but they do something much more interesting than that. They invent religion. Here's what they do. They begin fasting. Thank you very much. Right. For 8 consecutive days, because they're so scared that the world is going to be over because it's getting dark and it's their fault, they begin fasting. They fast every day. They figure out it's a way to like consume less and be more focused and ask for help from the primordial sources. But not only that, during the night, they build sacred bonfires. And on the first night, when they notice it's getting colder, they add 1 log to the fire. And on the second night, 2. And on the third, 3. And you know what happens on the 8th night? They're like, oh my God, it's a really long night. They needed all 8 logs. But then the night after that, night number 9, there was like, oh, it's a little shorter. And then it goes down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're like, oh my God, it's actually getting better. Huh. So that first year of Adam's life, our ancestors, they counted 8 up and then 8 down. And then it started getting kind of better because the winter solstice was behind them, but they had no idea because they were new. But they invented religion. They invented rituals that help them, us, cope with when it's dark and when it's hard and when it's frightening. When death comes, when illness comes, when plague comes, we turn to whatever we can to hold our hand. And I know that there are a few of you watching today who reached out to us this week, today, dealing with so many forms of illness and hospice and farewells and need. And it's when things end, like those nights that grow longer, that we turn to spirit. And as our ancestors created some kind of a religious ritual, we too, today, tonight, find the way to lean into what's going to help us make sense, make love, make every moment count a little more, even when it's really dark and hard, and where we find the mystery inside this darkness and revel and hug it like we just bowed towards the sunset. In that story in the Talmud, they indeed fast for 8 nights and 8 days and light up the nights. And you might think this sounds like Hanukkah. It might be the origin of Hanukkah. This might be the origin of Christmas. It's definitely the origin of the solstice celebration, celebrated in every culture on the planet around the longest night of the year. The rituals that we inherited, religious rituals, were often born of fear and often born of death. The oldest archaeological digs of religious sensibility of Homo sapiens have to do with burial. And so I want to throw one more story into here as we learn how to say goodbye to this year, to 2021. And we use year end and seasons greetings and Christmas spirit and the Hanukkah cheer to focus on the ending of a year, because that's where some of the warmth comes from. So it's the end of the year, and we're feeling it in ways both surprising and beautiful, with adding lights and Christmas lights and Hanukkah candles and Shabbat lights and cheer, yes, because it's winter. And the end of the year brings that for us. And on the Jewish calendar, on this Shabbat, we say goodbye to the first book of the Torah, the book of Let There Be Light. The book of Genesis is over, and it's over with Jacob, our ancestor, dying in a glorious deathbed scenario, surrounded by his children, blessed to give them his blessings as he goes on. And the book will end with Joseph, his beloved, also blessing his children. And then the very last image in the book of Genesis is Joseph as a mummy, as an Egyptian sarcophagus, dead and mummified and heralded. The book of creation ends with death. There's a wink in there, and I'll say it briefly because we have more to do tonight. The Egyptian civilization from which we came glorified death. They built pyramids because the afterlife was really what mattered. And this life here was just a journey to get there. And whoever wrote the Torah knew Egyptian civilization. And they're telling us, don't focus on the pyramids. Don't focus on what happens after. Don't focus on the fear of death or speculation. Focus on the life. The deathbed of Jacob and that of Joseph is one of giving blessings to the living, honoring those left behind to walk the talk and walk the light, and what will be, will be. The mummification of Joseph is a wink to Egyptian civilization, but it isn't about the pyramid or the grandiose after. It's about the legacy he left behind. So Adam fasts and lights the candles, and Adam creates religion and ritual in the way to deal with darkness as we are now, this very moment, if we are gathered around this virtual circle. And the book of Genesis ends with a reminder for us to live, live, live. The name of the Torah portion is Vayechi. Let us live on, even as our ancestors might die. And this book will end. And this year, with all its gifts and all its hardships, also ends. But we are here to live. And we are here to rise. When the Torah ends, we say, Chazak, chazak v'nitchazek. Let's find the strength inside the story. So let us find the strength to rise inside this moment, inside this night that's getting longer, inside this tale, inside this Shabbat. If you're able, I invite you to take a deep breath of gratitude and presence. And if you're able to, let's rise.
You can rise in your seat. You can
Rise in your seat.
spirit.
You can sit up or feel your spine. Sing like a tree. Baruch Adonai Haborach le'olam va'ed.
If ever there was a night for this next poet to come to life, the Ma'ariv, Aravim, the mixing of evening and night and light and night and light and light and night, it's this moment. And if there's ever a poet to pronounce this in English, I wonder if you are here tonight, Kohenet Sarah Chandler. Are you here with us?
Yeah, hi.
All right.
We can sit if you'd like.
We could sit.
Yeah, if you're feeling it, you can sit back down.
Slowly.
Set like the sun.
Slowly. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu ruach ha'olam Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim.
A breath in the presence of the infinite. We watch with awe as today becomes tonight, like a word exhaled.
בחוכמה פותח שערים, ובתבונה משנה עתים, מחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו.
Wisdom opens every gate. The change of seasons brings understanding. Time and space and stars move with meaning and purpose.
Adonai, Tziva'ot Shemo.
Notice the endless process of creation. Day becomes night, light rolls from darkness. Dawn rises again and again. Each change a manifestation of the soul of the universe.
ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המארים ערבים.
May we be guided now as always by living an eternal mystery. In the presence of the infinite, we are blessed by this and every evening.
Amen, 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 amen. Amen, 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 amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen. הבוחר בנו באהבה.
A breath. In the presence of the infinite, we are grateful for being chosen to live this life with love.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו טפטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. So we've arrived at Hashikivenu, which is an incantation said in the evening to speak into being the hope and wish that we will be protected at night and be surrounded by peace. And not so long ago, our ancestors walked around at night without any streetlights to guide them. There was no electricity, no fancy stage lights to light up the night, or night lights to guide them through a dark house. The amount of light that people experienced outside at night depended on the stars and where the moon was in its cycle, or if it was a cloudy evening. Some of our ancestors feared the darkness and nighttime, looking out for whatever spirits or wild animals might be lurking in the shadows. And at the same time, some of our ancestors found comfort being surrounded by their darkness and used it as a time to cry out and sing and feel comfort by gathering to pray and be together as a community, to be close and to feel held by each other. This prayer is a positive affirmation coming in to wrap us with the feeling of protection. And it's also a reminder that we each have a responsibility to protect each and every person and to have each other's back in the face of danger. Hashikivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Hashikivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Hashikivenu, Hashikivenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hashikivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, Hashikivenu, 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 Adonai Eloheinu, 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 Hashikivenu,
Shalom, 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 protected as we engage with the world. May our movements be life-giving for the sake of peace and wholeness continually through our lives. So now we're going to take a moment to lean even more into the darkness. So I invite you to dim your lights at home or go close to a window and really feel the darkness coming in from the outside. And feel into the safety of the incantation that we just sang together. And bring in the image of our ancient ancestors who were fearful of the dark, were crowding around the growing bonfire, and just feel the heat of that fire and the blanket of the darkness on the outside surrounding them. Just feel the cocoon of that safety and of the love of all of those people. And please face east and enter into meditation of the Amida. You are welcome to get up in your space, dance, sit still, stand still, sway side to side. Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, YofiYa Light is returning, even though this is the darkest hour. No one can hold back the dawn. Let's keep it burning. Let's keep the light of hope alive. Make safe our journey through the storm. One planet is turning, circle on her path around the sun. Earth Mother is calling her children home. Boy, boy, come on home, children, come, boy, boy, boy. Come on home, children, come on home. Come on home, children, boy, boy, kala. Come on home, children, come, boy, malka. Come on home, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Elyon. Come on home, children, come on home. Come on home, children, come on home. Come on home, children, come on home. Come on home, children. No one can hold back the dawn. Come on home, children, come on home. 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 Aleinu, 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 Aleinu.
an Aleinu online.
Ah, hello.
Hello, Astrea. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm loving the flow that's coming from all of you. I feel your Jewish souls just lighting my soul up too. Yeah, thank you. So Aleinu, I will just dive in here. Aleinu, it's on all of us, not just our leaders, but every single one of us here to gather and nurture each other. My name is Estrella, and I'm a Lab Shul partner. And early this upcoming year, I'll be working with our community to organize community Shabbat dinners, an ancient practice we have inherited from our ancestors to bond deeply with each other. This is timeless. So after 2 years of social distancing, there's nothing we need more than social nearness. And we are challenged to discover new ways to create nearness to each other in this new hybrid reality. We need to get to know each other in personal ways, and Shabbat dinners are an age-old way to do that. When we eat and we drink with gratitude for each other, for the earth that gave us that which we take into our bodies, we bond. And when we take the time to get to know each other, we become stronger together. In real life, bonds can grow from this, right? That's the promise of a hybrid reality. Bonds that never would have happened can happen, and in real life, bonds can thrive. So we can choose how we create this. In person, online, by neighborhood or affinity. We can choose what we most desire. We're all in this vast social experience together right now. So I want to invite folks who are interested in helping to email sam@labshul.org to get involved. Yeah. And just feel in your body. You know, the movement from childhood to adulthood it's on us to create the world we desire. And that's what we're being called to. So I want to invite you all to come join me.
Thank you, Astrea. Shabbat Shalom.
Come on home, children, come on home.
Come on home, children, come on
home. Come on home, children, Aleinu. Come on home, children, come on home.
Wow, thank you, Astrea, for reminding us of our Aleinu joys and welcoming us into 2022 with more community action. I want to invite Michelle and Jerry, who are in Brooklyn, not far from here, but on a screen. Jerry, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hey, buddy, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Jerry and Michelle are on our board and have been Lab Shul friends and partners and leaders for a long time, and we invite you to say a few words.
Okay, so I'm Jerry, and this is Michelle, like our Zoom box says. And we live
You guys look very dramatic, by the way. The lighting is perfect.
We live in Brooklyn, and I think the song Come On Home was a perfect intro to my little talk here. Because my question is, have you ever been a wanderer? Are you a wanderer? And I think our story with Lab Shul starts with Michelle and I being wanderers, going into a lot of shuls, spending a lot of different Shabbat services at different places in New York, and ultimately finding a home at Lab Shul. And we found the home at Lab Shul really because of all the things we love about Lab Shul. This is, as the name says, this is a laboratory. This is an experiment. This is a shul that is pushing the boundaries of what is possible in terms of creating a spiritual community, in terms of Judaism, the music, all the creativity, and how you feel things when you're here experiencing ritual at Lab Shul, and the openness of Lab Shul, the innovation of Lab Shul. And I think it's not surprising that Lab Shul is really, I mean, they're the only people that could get 100 people to come to a Zoom meeting on a Friday night. I mean, who wants to come to a Zoom meeting? But it's different with Lab Shul because they know how to innovate. They know how to take this technology. And what are they doing with it? They're connecting people all across the country, even people from different countries, people who would not be in a shul tonight or cannot be in a shul tonight, even if there was not a COVID. Maybe they don't have a shul in their community that fits, what they need or what they're looking for. But here Lab Shul is for them, and they're connecting us. So they're taking the lead in this. We want to see Lab Shul thrive and grow. And that costs money, of course. And so if you've already donated, thank you. If you can donate, if it's possible for you to donate, now is a great time. Between now and the end of the year, which is only 2 weeks, there will be a 50% match on all donations, which is a really great opportunity to make your donation go farther. And I just want to thank Lab Shul. Thank you for gathering in a backyard tonight in Bed-Stuy. Thank you for figuring out a way to do this. When you planned on having us at Mark Morris in Brooklyn tonight, you had already paid Mark Morris in Brooklyn to have us there. Thank you for just finding a way through the whole pandemic to not only keep the community together, but to grow the community. Shabbat Shalom. And you can Venmo. Look at that. Look at Venmo. Lab Shul has a Venmo. How many shuls have a Venmo? Lab Shul has a PayPal. They have a beautiful website. So you have all these different ways to donate. I'm sure no one has checks anymore. No one has paper checks anymore. But if there is someone on this Zoom that has a paper check, you can even send a check as well. So thank you, and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Lev.
Thank you so much, Jerry and Michelle, sending you healing and love and gratitude to so many of you that I see on the Zoom tonight who've already donated so generously these past days and weeks and continue to do so. Thank you for adding along to our fire. And Shabbat Shalom.
Come on home, children, come on home. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Mary. That's Mary Feaster on the bass, everybody. That's Mary Feaster. David on percussion. Thank you, David. David, Naomi, Les on guitar, vocals, and spirit. Ben, we're about to hear from Ben, and you will never, this is going to be a game changer. Noam, thank you for that incredible protection prayer tonight. I will truly sleep peacefully more because of that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Leo with us on woods, flutes, and breath and spirit. Thank you. Rabbi Amichai, this is our last Shabbat with you for a moment.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a moment.
Okay, we'll talk
but it's
about
our
that
first
in a moment.
Shabbat with you as our official new spiritual leader. So woohoo!
Wow. Well,
what a team.
I'm coming home, and I'm really grateful for our composers of this music tonight. I'm sure that slide is already being shown. It is a fat wealth, a treasure chest, a well of music that we are singing tonight. And I am grateful, Charlie Murphy, come on home, children, come on home. So many people helped us put this together tonight. These flowers, hey, everybody who helps tonight, Hannah Kyle, you have to come to my house. Like anybody who even remotely volunteers, just come to my house. We have flowers for you. Is that okay? Can I say that? My house is open. Liz and I welcome you. Come get these flowers. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I'm excited to see what we have coming up. There is a slide. My eyes can't see it. So Amichai, can you just
Tell us
share?
about. Tell us.
I know that there is stuff that's happening.
Tell us just about one thing.
If I could see it, I would.
I'll give you a
But
cue.
I know
Tell us
that
about
we
the
have,
ISOP event.
I'm excited about Family Lab actually.
Okay.
But you could talk about ISOP. I'm excited about Family Lab because even throughout this pandemic, our families, Shira and team, has found a way to gather our families to bring together community, just like Estrella was talking about. So thank you over and over and over again. Thank you, Solstice Party, for bringing in. The date of that is?
This is going to be Fruit Feast.
Fruit Feast. Oh,
it's
I'm
actually
sorry.
in
I
honor
couldn't even
of.
see it.
It's going to be in honor of the New Year of the trees. So we're going to stay as witchy as possible up here in Lab Shul, from
That's right.
Solstice to Fruit Feast. We'll see you back together. Culture Club, Family Lab, all families, all children at heart. Everyone's invited.
So on this slide, you can see a lot of upcoming events, and I want to alert you to one more, which is bittersweet. So many of you know that Lab Shul has been engaged with the International School for Peace in Lesbos, Greece, a gorgeous project to help refugee children from so many different countries who ended up in Greece have a school, have a home, have a future. Life's been tough. COVID has not made it easier, and the school is closing down due to a bunch of factors. Mostly the Greek government no longer allows refugees on Lesbos. So our partners who created the school are closing it on the 22nd of December. We are invited, our refugee task force that visited Lesbos. We have had so many beautiful events together. I invited to be with the school to say goodbye. It's not the end of that project, it's the end of this chapter. There'll be more ways we can support refugees and that school in its new reiterations and other projects that support so many people in need in this community and in all communities. So please check the calendar. There's a lot more going on to end of 21 and throughout 2022. But we're going to take a moment right now as we begin to end this year to also honor all the ends. We talked about Jacob dying and Joseph and the book of Genesis in 2021. And some of us are marking deaths of loved ones, family and friends, teachers, and loved ones. I want to name Bell Hooks, who died this week at the age of 69, an incredibly important teacher and fighter for women's rights, for human rights, for African American voices, for queer rights. She taught us how to love. If you remember our High Holy Days a few years ago on Relove, Bell Hooks' teaching was the centerpiece. May her memory be a blessing. So I want to invite us to take this moment right now for Kaddish. I want to invite mourners to be held and all of us to hold this moment as endings are sanctified and death is held with reverence. If you feel comfortable rising or sitting up, if you feel comfortable unmuting, we will say Kaddish together. Please put in the chat the names of the people whose memory you're holding tonight as we say Kaddish. Take a few seconds for that. Let's sanctify this moment together. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך רעותה וימליך מלכותה, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילם יטול ברכתה ושירתה תוך שפחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה באמין שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במאיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל אמרו אמן.
Amen.
May the memories be blessed.
Oseh Shalom Bimrona. Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
Amen, amen. I'm seeing all the names in the chat. May all these names shine in your hearts. May all memories be blessings. To our friend Natalie, whose father passed away this week, a big hug. And to all the consolations that we need. So, friends, we left Adam, our storied ancestors, after the first Oi to the world. And after creating 8 days of ups and 8 days of down, and creating the first solstice winter holiday celebration in the world. What happened the year after, according to the legend in the Talmud, was that they kept on celebrating. They're like, here it comes again, that longest night thing. And they created what we call Happy Holidays, the winter holiday tradition. It went a lot of different ways, a lot of different names, a lot of different traditions. One thing unites all these winter holidays, wherever you are in the world: fire and candles, adding light, which is our agency, instead of just being in despair, gifts with each other, delicious stuff, weird and beautiful myths, stories, and rituals that remind us that light is returning and that a lot of it is on us. That original story is about people being afraid of the darkness, but not sitting back, but stepping up to actually bring the sun back. Can you imagine? It's on us to bring the sun back. It's on us to make sure the days grow bright. It's on us to make sure that the night is luscious with visions. It's on us to be part of the healing of the planet right now. Not just on us. Step back, decenter the human. This is the Shemitah year. We remember our place, but we remember our responsibility. And this winter season, however you're celebrating, however you will be celebrating, do so. Remember, let there be light despite. It's on us to turn the lights on. If you dimmed your life, oh my God, if you dimmed your lights down, dim your life way back up. Let there be light tonight, my friends. We're about to wrap up with another gorgeous celebration of one of our own who had such a huge milestone this week that I can't wait to celebrate with you. But I just want to say one more personal thing. I love stories. I love the story I just shared with you. It's ancient. We've told it so many times. Stories are there to help us make sense of the senseless. Stories are there to echo the traumas and fears, the hopes and aspirations. Stories are sacred. They are the lifeline of our lives. And I love stories so much, and I love storytelling so much, and storytelling so much. You can't see me smiling, but I know you feel it, that I'm about to go on a sabbatical for 5 holy months with the gratitude and generosity of this team and Sarah Sakalik, who's watching from home, who are letting me get out of here so I can go write a book about storytelling and my story and our story and sacred storytelling that helps us save religion from itself and this planet from us and ourselves from each other. It's a story about story. And I'm going to write it. I hope. I'm going to go to Egypt where those pyramids wait so I can like check them out. And I'm going to go to Israel mostly. And I don't know the details yet, but I'll be mostly offline. I won't be here. Shira and Naomi and Ben and Noam and these awesome musicians and an amazing team are holding this community together. And I'll be back in May. It'll be warmer. Maybe COVID will be better. And I hope to have a book about sacred storytelling. So folks, let there be light. We're going to move from oi to the world to joy to the world and rejoice, which is what we get to do when we come together to create ritual. And Ben, take it away. Rejoice.
You can join me in the heartbeat of this song. Can I hear that chord one more time? I am on the way. On the way.
Yes, sing it, Ben.
I won't get there today, but I am on the way. Come play with me. Come play. Come dream. No hesitation, no urgency. Come play, 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 play with me. Rejoice, 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 rejoice. I raise my voice, I rejoice. I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice. Sing with me. I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice. I raise my voice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice. is calm. I listen to the call of God. All of me sing. Everything is listening.
Hallelujah, my friends. Rejoice, created, written, and performed by Ben Freeman and our entire team. Amen. Rejoice. We're going to raise a cup of transformation and cut some holy bread. The bread, I think, is courtesy of Barbara Klein.
Absolutely, my mom.
Barbara Klein challah that Liz brought from just minutes ago from the oven. I want to say one more thing. I know we're running a few minutes late, as is the Lab Shul Holy Custom. Stefan Silva is going to get the mic in a moment to share with you an amazing piece of news that happened this week. I had the honor of being with you at the mikveh as you ritually dunked. So tell us about your name, your moment, your something before you raise your brand new Kiddush cup. There's a mic.
Here's a mic. Here's a mic. Hello, everyone. As you might already know, if you joined us for a happy half hour, my name is Stefan Silva. I'm a member of the Lab Shul Feast team and also part of the Passage team. Cheers to Passage. And so, I got to join Amichai and ritually dunk in the mikveh for the first time and become an official Jewish person after 3 years of study, and it was powerful and moving and beautiful. And I'm grateful not only to all the people around this circle and the people behind the cameras, to all of you at home who've been mentors and teachers to me. Thank you for everything you've given to me over the years, especially during 2020 and 2021. And so my Hebrew name that I chose is Shemaiah Chesed. And speaking of stories and transformations, I chose Hesed in particular because it's the story of my grandmother who passed away in July. Her name was Grace, and that was the closest word we could find translated into Hebrew because she was a devout Catholic. She was someone who taught me wonder and awe in the world. And so as we talk about stories and legacy, I bring her with me on my journey in this new beginning as we continue forward. And so thank you to all of you for being part of that. Amen. Okay, so if you have a glass at home, raise it up with me. And let's do the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen.
I want to dedicate this challah to this unbelievable team right behind these. I want to dedicate these challah to this amazing team behind the cameras here. Randy, thank you. Richie, Ryan, thank you. Jordana, Liz, Ari, thank you to this amazing team. So,
Louis.
Sam, will you hold this? Will you hold this?
And
you
Louis
say the
Fender.
And Louis and Ashley. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay.
Whoa, it looks so good.
So beautiful. Wow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ruach haolam chamotzi lecha mincha aretz.
Amen, 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 amen.
1, 2, 3.
Shabbat shalom.
I rejoice. rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.